I'm David Boyle and I'm quitting alcohol. So I'm back on my home ground microphone. My voice is shot for some reason. I've got a toothache, an earache, and my fucking chest is congested as shit. I tell you what, if you're sober and you want to relive what being hungover is like without drinking, then take 2 kids on a flight, one of them being 2, at 1 a.m. in the morning, and then don't sleep the whole night. Oh, fuck. All right, I'll finish this thought and then I'll tell you the sweet part. Yeah, no sleep, just fucking up all night on this goddamn fucking flight, then landed just as I was falling asleep, landed. Anyway, fuck all that shit. We're catching a taxi home. And we've got a 2-year-old, so you need sort of like a baby seat. And we were carrying one, but if you catch a taxi, you don't need to use a baby seat. You can just carry the kid in your fucking lap. And because I got no sleep on the flight, I couldn't be fucking around with an Uber, putting the child seat in the car and all that. So I was like, let's just catch a fucking taxi and get home ASAP. So we waited, the taxi rang, and this big fucking maxi taxi, this 8-seater taxi rocks up. And I'm like, we don't need an 8-seater. This is ridiculous because they charge extra for the fucking 8-seaters. And I'm like, is it extra to catch this taxi? He's like, it's the same price. I'm like, all right, well, I suppose we'll take this taxi. And so this Indian taxi driver's on the phone the whole time. I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but he's sounding dodgy as fuck. And I look at the meter and he hasn't turned the meter on. I'm like, if this guy thinks he's going to be fucking charging me a premium for this fucking taxi, he's got another thing going. So the Uber out to the airport, I remember, was $35. And even that, I was like, that's expensive because we made him wait for like 20 minutes while I looked for a book. I couldn't find the book I was reading. Anyway, we get back to our place and the taxi driver rings up the fucking tab and it's $57.90. I'm like, what the fuck? I said to my wife, I'm like, it's $57, this taxi. She's like, what the fuck? And I said to him, this is all I said. I'm like, did you have the meter running for that? He's like, get the fuck out of my taxi. That was the first thing. I'm like, excuse me, gentlemen, did you happen to have the meter running? I was very polite. I was like, did you have the meter running for that? How did it come up to $57? And straight away, he just kicked off. He's like, get the fuck out of my taxi, you fucking Western, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, listen here, cunt. And my kid was there as well. I didn't want to fucking fire up, but this guy just unleashed. He's like, you want free trip, you want a free fucking trip. You come back from your holidays, you spent all your fucking money, now you don't want to pay for a taxi, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, listen here, cunt. I haven't got a fucking problem paying for the fucking taxi. You've just fucking charged $57 for a fucking $25 fucking trip. Then he starts mouthing off again. He's like, you fucking get the fuck out of my taxi. I'm like, I'm going to fucking smash your head in, cunt. He's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to kick your fucking ass, cunt, if you don't shut the fuck up. And my son was standing next to me and my son's like starting to get like a little bit scared. I'm like, this motherfucker is making me lose my cool in front of my son. I didn't want my son to see the anger side. Then he's like, get out of my taxi, get out of my taxi. He's like, what are you going to do in front of your son? I'm like, my son can sit here and fucking watch me kick your fucking ass. That's what he can do. Get out of here now. Get out. I was so fucking infuriated. I was so fucking angry. I hadn't slept either. And I really wanted to take it out on someone. And this cunt fucking went over the top. And then my wife's yelling out from the back of the taxi because she listened to him on the phone the whole time speaking Hindi and she can understand it. And she was like, yeah, he was fucking swearing about you, he was calling you a chutra and all this sort of shit. Apparently he was saying in Hindi, I've already had a bad day. Now these motherfuckers want me to take them to wherever the fuck they like, fuck these cunts. Like really going off on the phone. My wife was like, I was going to tell you what he was saying on the phone, but I thought he'd hear. And then he starts yelling at my wife and I'm like, listen, cunt, I would shut the fuck up right fucking now. I'm like, this little fucking rat is really fucking going for it. And I had to threaten him, like proper threaten him. Like, lean over from the back, over the top of him. I'm like, say another fucking thing. And my son's watching this the whole time. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So I get out of the car and he just fucking speeds off. So I didn't even pay for the fucking taxi. So it was worth it in the end. But fuck, I was angry. I was so fucking angry for like the next 2 hours. I was furious. I had to sit my son down. I'm like, listen, the way Dad had behaved before, that wasn't right. But, you know, what I wanted to say was sometimes cunts deserve it. Sometimes you got to fucking smash cunts in the face, which isn't very Buddhist. And I wanted to say that, but I knew it wasn't the right thing to say. So I didn't say it. I'm like, Dada behaved badly. Dada said some not very nice things. And he goes, yeah, I know you did. And he's like, but he said some really not nice things too. And I'm like, yeah, that motherfucker, I should have kicked his ass, shouldn't I? I should have just fucking dragged him out and fucking American History X'd him on the fucking side of the gutter, shouldn't I? So fucking annoying. Now, this is going to be one of those moments that, like, my son remembers. Like, he'll be scarred by this. Like, you know, in, like, gangster movies, like, where their life changed. They're like, yeah, I remember the moment I turned bad. My dad threatened to kick the fuck out of a taxi driver when I was 6. Fucking cunt. Anyway, what can you do? And legitimately, I just want to clarify this. I didn't fucking provoke him in any way. All I said was, did you have the meter running for that? If he said yeah, I probably would have accepted it. I would have been like, all right, well, what can I say? But he went straight for the jugular. Like, get the fuck out of my... You fucking Australian cunts. It's in your culture. You fucking classless cunt. Like, he was going nuts. I just felt like fucking strangling the cunt. Anyway, let's move on from that. It is, what is it? It's time for Ask Boyle. It's Ask Boyle time. So if you have a question that you would like to ask one of the greatest, most level-headed minds of the generation, comedian, philosopher, crane operator, Le Boyle, then head to my website, boylecomedy.com. There's a section there. You can type in your Ask Boyle, click the Ask Boyle fucking tab, go through, put in your details and ask your question. Or you can go to the Drunk Dial feature and record your voice, and I'll play it on the podcast. Either way, they're both at boylecomedy.com. Anyway, this week's question was sent in by my man fucking Jonas out there in New South Wales, Sydney, Cronulla. One of the young fucking lads came out to my Sydney Comedy Festival show with the boys, the youngsters. So this is his Ask Boyle. What would be your advice to two lads, 19-year-olds, traveling abroad to Thailand? Do you have any tips, tricks, or general drinking/drug advice to survive a month abroad? What has been your experience traveling abroad for the purpose of getting fucked up, and how would you navigate it in today's age? Well, Jonas the Mock, you have come to the right place. Well, so Thailand 19. What are the tips I would give you straight out of the gate? Avoid buckets at all costs. There is nothing you're going to get from a bucket that's good. I know they look exciting when you're 19. You get a bucket, they fill it full of alcohol, they put Red Bull and shit in there. But trust me, no good has ever come at the bottom of a bucket. For those of you who haven't been to Thailand, they do these buckets. It's pretty much for the travelers. It was like $10, $15 back in the day. And they would just fill the bucket full of like vodka or whatever fucking booze you want. And then they would put Coke in it. And then they'd put like these dodgy, like syrupy Red Bull. Like it's Red Bull, but it's just the syrup. They would put all that in the bucket. And you would drink 2 of them and you would fucking almost die. But they look so much fun. You just walk around Thailand holding a bucket with a couple of straws in it and get fucked up. But boy, they can do some damage. I have felt like I was going to die on them a few times. Stay away from the fucking buckets. That's the first thing. Stay away from the Red Bulls as well. That shit is like toxic. A lot of the spirits they sell around town can fuck you up as well, but I'm not asking you to avoid the spirits. Don't worry about that. Just drink. You're going to take some damage at some point. Drug-wise, Thailand, you can pretty much get everything you need in Thailand over the counter. You got your Xannies, you got your fucking Valiums, you got your pseudoephedrine. You can get some pretty good painkillers. I don't know if they've tightened up a little bit in Thailand over the last, when did I first go there? 17 years ago or something like that. It was pretty fucking loose back then. But even back then, the people who'd been there 10 years before me said it was real loose back then. So it's always loose. So yeah, just fuck with the over-the-counter drugs. Obviously, you can pick up some weed and shit. If you're going to buy shit, just buy it off backpackers. Find an Israeli. They'll sell you some fucking weed for cheap. Not real cheap. They are Jews, but they'll sell you something. Stay away from yabba. That is basically Thai meth. That shit can fuck you up, so just stay the fuck away from it. You have to smoke it with a straw and some coins in your mouth and shit like that. And yeah, it's dodge. You don't need any part of that. You can have enough fun there without yabba. What else would I recommend in Thailand? Just bang backpackers. They're as easy as the locals anyway, and I don't know. Something never felt right about going to Thailand or these Asian countries and then just fucking tearing through the town, just fucking everything. For me, I don't know. That never felt right, so I just stuck to the backpackers. The backpackers are fucking loose anyway. By all means, though, if you do find a beautiful Thai girl, which is more than likely going to happen because they're fucking beautiful. Even a beautiful ladyboy. Then fucking go for it. I'm putting rules on this. I was as loose as you can get. I haven't even told some of my Thailand stories. I fucking caught a taxi. A fucking taxi from Bangkok to Phuket. That was a wild journey. It ended up at the police station in Phuket. Anyway, I'll tell that story another time. Don't give your passport to any cunt. That's another one. Don't let them hold your passport. I fucking was catching a bus one time from Thailand to Malaysia, and for some reason, I think I was hungover. I gave my passport to the bus guy, and then it fucking took 2 days for me to get it back. Some bribes, there was a lot of it was a nightmare getting it back. And I'm like, I'm never giving my passport to any cunt ever again. Don't give your passport to cunts. What else do you need? I fucking love Chiang Mai in Thailand. Yeah, Chiang Mai. I don't know. I fucking love Chiang Mai. I didn't really fucking get into the island thing that much. Mainly because I don't have the rig for island hopping. And you cunts do, so you'll probably like the fucking islands. I didn't get into it. I like Chiang Mai, where you could keep your shirt on and there's no reason to take your shirt off at all. It was very chill. You can do opium tea there. It's a nice fucking place. Just go with the flow. It's such a fucking fun place. You're going to have a fucking ball. I can't wait to go back. It's a little bit more expensive than it used to be, but I can't fucking wait. Just go with the flow. The locals are fucking sweet if they're not trying to rip you off. Everyone's on the same vibe. Everyone's feeling the same shit. Everyone's looking for a fucking good time. It's Vice City, so you can fall into some moral pitfalls, but you cunts are good cunts. Honestly, I could have just stopped it at the buckets. Imagine that. Imagine, I've been to fucking Thailand 5-6 times. And imagine if the only bit of advice is stay away from the buckets. That's all I came out of it with. Do whatever the fuck you want, but stay away from the buckets. Anyway, I hope that fucking helps. Enjoy your trip. That'll do for today. If you're enjoying the podcast, give it a share around, and I'll see you the fuck later.